Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me
What's
switch
up?
this real quick. Let me switch this real quick. Put you in the pilot seat.
And no, I will not stop the cap. My hairline, I
That
done cut these locks off, y'all.
was a good one. I get what you're saying. Stop the cap. Well, I stopped the cap.
All
I
right,
had to let the
well,
ball head breathe.
well, listen. All right, so let me say this. First cut from the locks was fresh, and you try to keep that crispy lining, and yeah, I'm lining them every 2 days, bro. I looked, I'm like, yeah, it took my lining back a 3/4 of an inch.
Oh my goodness.
So look, at this age, I'm praying that it come back.
Mm.
It ain't nice right now. I'm
So you capping, huh? From here on out, you capping, huh?
I'm just camping for a minute. Look, I got my oils, I got my jojoba, I got my castor, I got the hair elixir, all that. I just want my shit to come back, or I'm going to Turkey. That's all it is,
There
bro.
you go. There you go.
Istanbul. It's about 4 of them out there. Y'all been hit me up. Y'all even had me download WhatsApp. I'm gonna do that.
Don't come back with an extra ear.
Hey, as
You ain't
long
got
as I got a
WhatsApp?
pro, look, I get an extra ear and a pro. I'm straight. I might take that. I
You
can
ain't
hear
got
more.
WhatsApp? You ain't got WhatsApp? What's going on?
Why would I need that?
I don't know. I got
Thank you.
it.
My point exactly. I just don't just jump out there. I ain't got listen. You look at my phone, basic. Everything
You
that
a
I have
felon.
on
I
my phone.
forgot. Ken is a felon, so less is
No,
best with him.
no, bro. No,
Ken on the
that's the
run.
cap. Not on the. I ain't running from nobody. Uh, no, bro. I'm not gonna be a consumer all my life, bro. I'm a producer, so
You
I don't
consuming
want
that
some.
chicken?
Yeah, absolutely. Yarbird.
Yeah.
Um, I don't want to. I don't want to have myself in this matrix, bro. I want to make sure that everything I got, things that I need, things that I actively use, I'm always going through my apps. If I'm not using them, how does it get on my phone? Delete it. I don't want to be marketed to. n- Uh, you know, I want to still have some control over my day to day. My. I want to have control over my mental space as well, bro. So yeah, I don't need no WhatsApp. I
You
got
can't live in
text
this
me.
world by yourself, brother.
I don't need to.
You say
I
you
don't
don't
need
want to
to.
be marketed to. So as long as you're talking to somebody, they're gonna market to you something.
But at least I got control over it, bro. I'm out the algorithm, bro.
No, you're not.
Okay. Or I'm not. Mm,
You're not. Hey, have you ever tried that?
I'm listening. Go ahead. You trying to tell me something?
Yo, I'm just saying. Have you ever tried that?
Nope. Don't want to either.
I'm trying to think of something. Hold on, hold on.
WhatsApp? Nope.
So you in
When I saw it's
Arizona,
a whole nother texting application, I'm like, why didn't they just give me their number?
bro? You just went on a whole 9-state trip
For
consuming. So and they didn't even have to market to you.
well, that's my choice.
You still getting marketed to.
No, that was my
It's
choice.
your choice to. It's your choice to indulge or refuse. You got the
No,
same
I
choice online. You can choose to.
I'm not gonna let them find a weakness. I got control. I'm a control freak, brother. Like I control the cap.
The who?
The cap. That was
And
a
stop
pun.
the cow. I know. All right.
All right. This basic ass chicken rice pretty good. Just wanna say that.
Yeah, I know your wife don't watch the pod because there's no way you'd be talking this reckless.
What? I ain't say that. What you mean? I just got chicken and rice, bro.
No, you said this what? This
Why are you
basic
bringing
what?
my wife into this? I don't know where that came from, bro. You okay?
I'm not
Everything all right?
finna. I'm gonna leave it at that. You
Just
open the
ask.
door. I'm not finna step
I
in.
didn't say
I'm not
nothing.
finna.
I'm
I'm
just.
not gonna. I'm not gonna. I'm
I
not
don't know
about to
what day of the
further
week it is or
incriminate.
nothing, bro. I don't know what
I'm
day of
not
the week
finna.
this is or nothing. I don't know what you talking about. You got a
Oh
bowl of
my
substance
goodness.
right here, and you want to talk about my wife? I'm gonna have to talk to her. Like, hey, Mike was your name was in Mike's ear today. Something's going on.
Mm.
You talk to your cousin-in-law.
So you gonna introduce yourself, or we gonna just ride out?
Oh, sorry about that, y'all. Listen, simply Ken. Look, no sniffles. I ain't shiny right here around the nose no more. I ain't got no blanket on. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I had my
Y-
little couple days down, but I'm straight. I'm straight.
Yeah,
Simply
simply
Ken.
one. There you go. I
Yeah.
was waiting on
If,
it.
if I did it once, I do it
Do it
again.
again.
You know
That's
what I
growing
mean?
on me. That's growing on
Come
me
on,
like
man.
fungus. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we just appreciate y'all, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Y'all gonna notice we on here eating chicken,
He
chicken and
just
rice. Ain't nothing wrong
he
with it.
just he just stepped right on over my intro. This mic check.
What we
Mic
doing?
check productions. Your bald head beat maker. Your favorite bald head beat maker. I don't have a fancy moniker.
Sexy bald head beat maker.
Yeah, that's up for debate. So what was you saying? You said what's the call to action? You told me to do what?
Tell them to like, subscribe. No, you know what?
Uh-oh.
Set us straight. If y'all got a problem with us, y'all get tired of me wearing this hat. Y'all get tired of let me think. Y'all get tired of this raggedy headset we got. It's actually not a raggedy one. It just ain't up to everybody else's part right now. Y'all tired of me looking like I'm in interrogation room in the back of interrogation room.
And back of the
Ladies and
store for
gentlemen,
shoplifting.
look. If somebody can tell me right now, where in the back of a store for shoplifting, that's a true story. That is a true story, and it did look like this because the clock.
Yeah.
I
He in
may
the
have,
back of Target waiting on the
look,
deputies to get
I
there
may I,
because
I
he
may
was
have stole the
shoplifting.
clock. I may have went back and stole that clock. That's might be why that clock is right there. That's an inside story.
Man,
Or
we'll say
I
that.
might
We'll
be
say that for Patreon for the
look.
members only.
I might be in witness protection.
Mm.
You know what? I bet you somebody in the chat right now. I bet you that clock ain't even working. Ain't no clocks in nobody's house working. No black folks' house working.
Mm.
Just to let y'all know my clock is working. I changed the battery.
Hey, as
You know
long as they
what?
don't hit it, as long as they don't hit a smoke detector going off,
The
we should
smoke
be good.
detector. It's the
Yeah,
smoke detector. That's the
and the
normal
clock.
sound, and none of the clocks work.
Right. Yeah.
That's the black folks' house.
Uh-oh. Speaking of not working,
Ooh,
our first topic, you see it scrolling across the top.
what we got, Mike?
Is the black community lazy? Or
Oh,
why?
Jesus, Jesus.
We're gonna let Ken set it up and then
Let me start
we're
this
gonna run
pause.
with it. Pause.
Pause. 3 second pause. All right, I'm back. Nah, man.
I know the topic sounds crazy, but we're gonna give it some context to make it make sense.
Yeah. Let me
Is
make
the
it make
black
sense, y'all.
community lazy?
For those of y'all don't know, I'm a serial entrepreneur. No, I don't sell fruity pebbles, um, cocoa puffs, and Cheerios. Um, so thank you. Delay reaction. Um, but no, man, I find myself interacting with a lot of different cultures. In some of my business adventures, shut up, man. In some of my business adventures, I find myself dealing with Somalians, Africans, Hispanics, obviously Caucasians. And man, I've been an entrepreneur probably for the better part of I would say partially for 17 years, probably more as a primary. Well, probably a little bit more than 17 years because when you talk about real estate, that started in what '03. So I just been doing it for a
When did you
while.
go solo? When did you go solo? When did you leave corporate America?
Bro, I never leave corporate America. I take the check when the check makes sense.
Oh,
So
so you just taking a hiatus.
no, I don't need corporate America, but if you gonna give me what I need for my 40 hours and it's gonna make sense for whatever I am at that moment, yes. That's why I have the degrees so that I can make sure that I maintain that flexibility. But anyway, back to what I was saying is that as I network, man, I've made relationships and I've noticed that most of the relationships, and I'm not saying it's just me, most of the relationships that I made have been with um and then I've watched these individuals grow and prosper have been from other communities. Not to say that any African Americans that I've dealt with, have done business with, haven't thrived or anything, but it's just in my experience, man. I've watched, and I'll see. Like I'll give an example. Like there's some Hispanics that I dealt with when I started dealing with the car business. Um, I think I met the guy, and he was selling me used tires. He had started off selling used tires. I caught him on, I guess, Craigslist or something, and I bought some tires from him. So I literally met up with him on Craigslist. He had his house on the other side of the fence by his garage. He had the tire size that I need and a whole bunch of other tires. Cool. So I noticed that I get a good price, good deal, good relationship. Man, when I needed another tire, I hit him up. I did a couple times. Next thing I know, next time I talk to him, I need a tire from him. I'm meeting him at um at a U-Haul. So I watched him escalate from in his backyard to in just a single U-Haul. What does they call those, storage unit? I'm sorry, not a U-Haul trailer, but a U-Haul storage unit. So he's just strictly selling tires because now that's where he was stocking them at. A few months from there, he went from a single bay storage unit to a larger storage unit, and now he not just selling me tires, he got a tire mounting machine. Okay, I went watched him go from having a tire mounting machine at a U-Haul to now he has a mobile tire service off of a pickup truck. Went from that mobile tire service off a pickup truck to he owns a tow truck. Now his brother was driving the tow truck, and if I need cars moved, hit them up. Now they can move cars for me. They were picking up cars for me from the auction. Well, he started selling cars. Then they ended up opening up a towing service and a tire shop. So they no longer had the U-Haul space. They actually had a small tire shop. I remember when they got the tire shop, it was him and his brother and the rest of his family. They were actually living, probably 7 or 8 of them, adjacent to where the tire shop was. The way it's out here in Indiana, you probably guys have seen it in the hood. Um, Commercial and residential zone is a little off, but if you're in the hood, people don't really care. But he had a legitimate tire business with, I think, a couple different, two, maybe three tire machines, a tow truck, um, and they were also living in this one house. Fast forward, probably 4 years after that, I'm at an auction and I'm bidding on cars, and now the brother who I've did some business with on the side because he was towing for me, he's at the auction bidding for cars. We end up exchanging numbers. I go back, they got a new tire shop, and they didn't just buy the house that they were in, they bought the house next door. Within 3 years, they started buying houses on this block in the neighborhood that you would consider the hood. But they kept buying houses on the block. My guy's wife, they would literally sell I don't know what it's called, horchata, tortillas, and tacos in front of their two houses, right? Set up tables, people pull up, great tacos, great what is it, quesadilla, if I'm pronouncing it wrong, correct me, right? So I literally watched this. Started with I'm not gonna say his name, but started with the first individual, went to his brother, brought their family, and then their wife started their business, and now he owns two tire shops, a big lifted, $100,000 truck, and they probably own 3 or 4 houses on the block. And I look at that and I see they started with nothing. I know the guy; he's straight from Mexico, and he did what he needed to do and grind it, and they're doing very, very well. I see that in a lot of communities, y'all. And I just community, but I got my reasons why it just won't happen. Um, I'm gonna let Mike kind of put his 2 cents in there, and I just want to talk about, are we lazy? I think my thoughts are gonna be around that. I want your thoughts on that, Mike.
So as I was listening to your story, I was thinking of black um, owners I don't personally know them, but I know of their story. Um, I would
Talk about
say
talk about somebody personal. That's the meat and potatoes though.
Lawrence Kelly. He's a Facebook friend. We don't know each other personally. We're both from the same city. I think he went to West Side. And as I was listening to your story, I was thinking about him. He's got a store. He's got a store in Gary, a soul food restaurant. It's called Kelly Soul Food. Um, he bought the building. He bought the house behind the building. He smokes all of his meat. Pause.
Oh,
Pause. He's doing very well. Very well. Him and his wife. They're doing very well. I wish, to your point, I wish more of us would learn how to scale up because he didn't just stop at a mom and pop. He scaled up to where he is now. The same way you were describing this guy with the tire venture. He started off where he was and he just kept scaling up. He didn't stay where he was and tried to hustle, you know what I'm saying? And he just left it there. He had the ambition to keep scaling up, to keep scaling up, to keep scaling up to a brick and mortar, right? He worked his way to that.
hmm
I've seen that more often in other communities, more so in the Latino community, especially with the what do you call it, the landscaping, right? They'll start off with a
absolutely.
lawnmower, and then they'll scale up. They'll keep scaling up, and their wife is involved. Like you said, the wife will be doing this, selling whatever on the side, taco, whatever food, whatever. Or she'll help out with the business, and you'll look up, and next thing you know, they got all this commercial equipment. They got the big dually, they got the trailer, they got all this equipment, and now they got commercial. First it was residential, now they move over to commercial. What do you call it? Commercial work. I wish I would see that more amongst us as a people. There are examples. When you were giving your testimony of what you've seen, I have the same stories of black people doing that, but it's not it's I could count on one hand and have some fingers left over that could match the grind that you described as far as scaling up a business and not being comfortable uh you know what I'm saying, working out the back of a car or whatever, or the back of a trap house or whatever.
That's interesting. Well, I think my response is twofold, right? Um, as far as scalability, I think that's perceptive, right? I don't care what how big you get. If he would have stayed is just doing tires. My point is that our community, um, instead of taking advantage of opportunity, we try to satisfy those around us. We want to feel good about something. And we think that materialistic things are those things that really make us feel good. But they leave us empty. Um, I don't know what the guy's living situation was when he got here, right? I don't think, just from my instinct, that he even had access to public assistance. If you think about our community, um, in the community we're talking about, I'm not gonna say all our community, but the community we're talking about, I think we are lazy, bro. Most people in
Lazy in
our
terms
community.
of what?
So,
Ownership or just
well,
getting a job?
I, 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 I I'm not gonna say that. Let me make sure I'm painting the correct picture. I think once we see something, the and we find ourselves motivated about it, most of us aren't willing to put the work in that's necessary to build up to that. I mentor people. I teach financial literacy. I mentor people. I've helped people understand their finances differently. And I tell everybody, in order for you to get to where you're trying to go, and everybody wants what they call or consider financial security. They want to have money saved up. They want to have, all these things. They want to have this feeling. I said you have to realize that you've made some mistakes before. And now you have to be willing to take steps back. You have to be able to humble yourself enough to try to address some of the bad financial mistakes that you made before that have gotten you here. And that's where the issue becomes. Nobody wants to take those steps back. Pride won't let them go back. If I talk to somebody and they make X amount of dollars, and right now they living in a two-bedroom apartment and they paying 2,700 a month, and that's, you know, 60% of their income. First thing I'm gonna say is we gotta reduce your expenses. Can we find a place that may be one bedroom? It might not be comfortable, but if you can stay here for one bedroom and save $1,000 a month over 12 months, we got $12,000 just there. In addition to the reduced expenses in electric and other utilities and life tools, just right there. Hey, will you be willing to roommate two families? You got two-bedroom, two families, split that just for a year, so that we can at least scale back some of the negative transactions that you've done or committed that have put you in that situation.
What's the okay? Just so that the crowd audience understands what is the end goal, because you started off talking about how you are a serial entrepreneur, and that's
Hmm.
fine. That's fine. Are you encouraging, or are you comparing, or are you suggesting that we should be more owner oriented, or just a job? Like, what's the end
It,
goal?
so that's what I'm going.
The
That's
problem
why
is
the kind of
lazy. The
that
problem is being
the
lazy.
problem being lazy. So
Yeah.
so let me explain. It's not necessarily about it being an entrepreneur.
Okay. I'm just
Being
for the
lazy means,
audience.
yeah,
Hmm.
being lazy means that you don't want to put the effort necessary to change your situation. That's what I'm saying. Whether you're being an entrepreneur, whether you're cutting back your expenses that are coming out of a W-2, we don't want to do that work. We don't want to say, okay, let me get rid of this 2017 Charger that's at 44% interest. Let's get rid of that. No, no,
Yeah.
no, nobody wants to do that because they've been seen in the wide body almost scat pack, right?
I don't think that's a hold on real quick. I don't think that's a black community thing. I think that's an American thing. But we're going to stay on the black community because
Let's
that's our community. Hold
let's
on,
that's what we talk about.
that's our community. I totally agree with what you're saying.
Hmm.
So what I think what you're saying is we don't know how to budget. We don't know how to prioritize the more important thing. We want to look good instead of
Being good.
sacrificing that. Oof. Well, hold on. What'd you say? Say that again.
That's my, we want to look
You
good
want to
before being good. And and
hold on.
and, and what's not understood is being broke is not looking good, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
That,
saying?
like as a person, you gotta be able to, because most of our financial woes are self-inflicted. So you
No,
gotta
no.
no.
All of them.
Okay,
Every
I'm sorry. I
decision that you
misspoke.
make financially
I misspoke.
is your
All of our
decision.
financial woes. That's correct. All of our financial woes are self-inflicted. So when we find ourselves in a situation that's down bad, we got to be able to sacrifice.
Yeah,
But we don't. We'll try to keep up with the Joneses. We'll worry about how we look versus being good, like you said. We'll struggle
yeah,
to look good versus struggle to be good.
absolutely. Um, I, I don't think that we understand what being good really is,
It's
and I think,
subjective, but you
yeah,
think, yeah, it's subjective.
yeah.
But there's still
Um,
some basic principles that you
ba-
can still, you know.
what do you think? What do you think? Some basic principles that we can instill in our community overall, so that we understand.
Okay, so even though, like you said, being financially straight or being good is subjective,
Hmm.
there's still basic principles that would lead you out of the graphs of depths of debt. Excuse me. And so, what was the question?
Yeah, I was talking to my son. I'm listening.
What was the question that you asked me so I can answer it? What
What are
are
some things that we can do to change?
I
Or
think
what do you think are some of our issues? Maybe before we talk about what we can do, what do you think are some of our issues, Mike?
a lot of our issues is we don't budget. We don't know where the money is going. When the money, whether you're an entrepreneur or whether you have a job,
Hmm.
if you don't know where your money is going, you won't know how to properly plan. But if you budget, you know how much money's coming in, and then each dollar is assigned when it goes out. If you don't create a budget, if you don't create a plan, then there's nothing to work. You don't progress. You just stay right there. You just make money, spend money, make money, spend money. Once you make money and make a budget, now you know, okay, I'll stay within this area. That way that I can save, like you said. Don't have a 44% car note. If you have a budget, then everything starts to make sense. Like, don't get this car note that's got a 44% interest rate. Don't do this because you understand what's coming in versus what's going out. So I think it starts with a budget. What do you
I
say?
disagree. I disagree.
Okay.
I think our ego supersedes our intellect. I think this. I've put people on budgets, right? I've literally sat down and broke numbers down. I've showed them the T method, everything. And what happens is that first check comes when you can't go get your nails or your hair done, or they look across the street and their neighbor still got his charger, his scat pack. It's the ego. It's I can't be the one not looking like I'm keeping up. I've literally, bro, everything that you're saying to a T in writing. I've even got to the point where I was managing somebody's payroll, trying to pay their bills. Bro, I was not even charging them for the service. Cut me off. and and I
But
swear to you,
why
look
do
at
you
how
have
they
to
live now.
disagree? Why do you have to disagree? Why can't you just add on? Why do you always have to disagree? Why
Because I
can't you
think,
just say, why can't you just say I agree with what you're saying? But the origin of it is not the budget, it's the mentality.
well,
Because
no,
you're talking about a mentality.
I'll tell you why I disagree. Because I was telling you my experience. I disagree because I actually have done that, and it's actually went the opposite way.
But that's
So that's
because
just
of a
my experience.
mentality. But that's because of a
Yeah,
mentality. It's
yeah,
not that
yeah.
it's not that what you were doing was wrong. I ain't talking about me, I'm talking about you. It's not that what you were doing was wrong, is that that wasn't the origin of the problem. The origin, the start is not the budget, it's the mindset.
That's what I mean. Okay.
So
Tomato,
so what
tomato.
so no, it ain't no tomato tomato.
Are you
You
butthurt by me
disagree.
disagreeing?
No. I'm saying if you're disagreeing, that means you're saying if they had a mindset, they don't need a budget. As long as the mindset is right, they don't need a budget.
Um, so let me say this. I thought the question was the primary reason. I think the primary reason is always going to be the mindset. That's what I was trying to say.
Okay.
Didn't know how you framed it, but that's what I thought we were going with the conversation. That's why I
No,
said
that
I don't think
is.
that's the root cause. The root cause starts with the mindset. You can have all the logic and reason because before somebody shows a budget, the numbers are there. Common sense is common sense. We're talking about the mindset.
You could put a pile of money in front of a fool, right?
It,
And it'll still be good. Yeah,
it'd be broke in a minute.
yeah.
Yeah,
Understood.
it
Understood.
broke quick and he became a fool.
So what? So what? How do we change the mindset? What's the origin of changing the mindset?
I wish I had an answer to that, bro. Because you try to teach, you try to tell. Um, what I've done was I kind of de facto got into helping people understand finance and credit and things like that because when I talk, I speak of those things, and I guess most people don't understand what the ins and outs of credits and don't understand finance and stuff like that. So I love having those conversations, right? So I kind of have de facto been a person to help mentor other people. There's nothing that I've done for profit ever. I don't think I'll ever do that. But um in doing it and in having multiple conversations with people, trying to lay things out, um I find myself wanting it and wanting those opportunities more than they do, and people typically fall off. Um, and that's fine, right? When I say fall off, meaning um, they don't make the changes that they agreed that they should make based on, like I said, numbers don't lie. You know that with a budget, numbers don't lie. They tell the picture. So when I say fall off, they haven't continue where they felt or where they saw and they knew that this would change what their situation is. And cool, so be it. That's fine. How I feel like I implement change is that a lot of the principles that I'm familiar with, I try to normalize them to my children so they don't see anything else, right? Um, I don't, and as normal as we can make these things, it'll be normal to my grandchildren and be normal to my great grandchildren. I think that's the only true way to change. I mean, you can be a guru, you can be one of these internet prophets teaching all this. I just want to understand like how many lives are actually changing without the mindset changing first.
Okay, but don't you think that those courses you were working on their credit, you were teaching them about budgets, don't you think that that same work you were trying to do with strangers is the same work you're trying to implement in your kids? Don't you think that that work with the strangers is training their mentality, whether they failed or succeeded? That was still a process of training the mentality.
Yeah, I agree with that. As you were speaking, I just thought about something, bro.
What's up?
I really had to think about this, bro. Um, I don't think, in my experience, in my observation, I don't think most of us know that we're in the financial shape that we really are in. I don't think we even acknowledge that we're
That's a
making
good
bad
point.
decisions.
That's a good point.
I think that we are this generation and a culture that if I can, that means I can. Just because you can don't mean you can, right?
That's a good point. Just don't lose your thought. I just want to tell you what I interpreted off of what you just said. I hear a lot of people saying we grew up poor, but everybody was poor. So we didn't think we was poor because everybody was poor, right? I've heard that over and over again.
Hmm.
I'm not invalidating what they were saying, but that goes to your point. You said a lot of us don't even know that we're down bad. We don't even know that we're, I ain't gonna say stupid, but financially illiterate because it's normalized. So is that what you were saying?
Yeah, bro. I come from. I've been on my mom has been on Section 8 food stamps, um, and I understand in those communities, um, however you live is normalized. But I think the dynamic is the fact is that in those communities, we're the most materialistic driven people ever.
Because that's the culture. That's the culture within that community. Yeah.
That's crazy.
If I
When
lived in, real quick, if I lived in Gary my whole life, and no disrespect to Gary, please don't take this the wrong way. I'm only used to seeing 1,200 square feet houses, tiny bedrooms. I don't care how nice the house looks. I'm only used to seeing this level of niceness. Now, when I venture out of this community into a more well off community, then I recognize, oh, wait, yeah,
his
I'm
levels.
not, yeah, it's levels to this. It's
Mhm.
just like an abusive relationship. You don't realize you're in an abusive relationship until after you get out of it. Then you turn around and be like, gosh, look at all this stuff I put up with. So I understand your point. Like, yo, our environment shapes us. If we don't have the people and the programs and the teachings to mold us into
I
what we
think that's
should be,
BS.
it's just gonna be a carbon copy of failure.
I think that's BS. So that now we're talking about that we're ignorant, bro. Because the environments that we're talking about, right? We don't own those homes. We're low income with public housing, right? Those are environments we talking about. Let's keep it a buck, right?
Well, when I said Gary, I wasn't talking about projects, but go ahead.
Bro, most of Gary is Section 8, brother.
I won't argue. I'm not a
Yeah.
landlord, so I won't argue.
Most of Gary is Section 8 or subsidized, right? Those are programs. Do you know we have to apply for that?
We're going to have to fact check. I think most of Gary is renting. I don't think it's subsidized and programs, but I'll
Pull it
allow
up.
it. I will.
Pull
No,
it up.
I don't have the info to pull it up. You said it. You substantiate.
I'll substantiate. Hold on. What percentage of Gary, Indiana is Section 8 or public income?
He said public income. What is that? You could have just said Section 8. That'll hit it right there.
Okay. So it's talking in my ear. So this is what it says. It doesn't say it's not giving percentage, but let me explain. This is what it says. It says most of Gary, Indiana's population of statewide and low income is a major factor of Gary's housing market, indicating concentration. Hold up, where's the figure that she said? Um, she was speaking in my ear. The AI was speaking in my ear. But my point of saying that, brother, is 90 at or 90% Section 8 tenant-based assistance programs. Oh, this is 2005 to 2009. I'm looking for the information, but
That's fine. I don't want to go down a rabbit hole. I was just go ahead and make your point. Make your point.
yeah,
You said it's an excuse.
yeah, it's an excuse, bro, because we have to apply for these programs. We have to apply
Mm-hmm.
for this assistance, bro. This is not like somebody saying you black here.
Right.
This is where you live here, right? So we're applying to this
Nobody's
assistance,
saying that. Right.
and on that application, we're saying that we're living below the poverty level. We don't have this. We don't have that. And my thing is that we know, like we had this conversation before, bro. You know, growing up, living in and around the projects kids had the best clothes, best shoes. They was getting that extra check every month, and J's on the first day. How do you have a pair of $200, $170 shoes, and your mama's rent is $38? It just
That's
doesn't
how.
make sense.
That's how. No, it does make sense because if she was paying rent, then that 170 would be going on the rent.
But see, you're not listening, bro. That doesn't make sense.
That's disingenuous, bro. Don't do that. This is why.
No,
Thank
that
God I've been
doesn't.
knowing you for 30 years.
But you said that does it. Yeah, it
You're
does
not
make sense.
listening. You're not listening.
You
I
said it
am
does
listening.
make sense. Tell me how it makes sense then.
If my rent is only $38, then I can't afford $170 J's.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can. If you're getting SNAP
No, you
benefits, yes.
can't.
If you're getting SNAP and
You
welfare,
can't.
yes. Yes.
If you're telling the world that you can't afford to live, you can't get $200 shoes.
You're telling people no. Listen to me. Listen to what I'm saying now. Since we being
You're saying that we're talking about the
if I'm
ability to.
telling the world, if I'm going down there and I'm applying for whatever, and they saying, all right, bet you broke. All right, here's 600 in food stamps. Here's 400 in welfare, and here's Medicaid. So instead of taking this 400 to do what I'm supposed to do with it, I'm gonna go buy my son some J's. That's how they can
No,
afford it.
so I don't think you understand the application process, brother. The application ask about your disposable income, ask about if you need clothes, if this, that, and the other, right? What I'm saying is, you're saying, can they? Yes, but I'm trying to say the person who's filling out that application is saying that they're poor. They can't
I
afford
know
anything.
that. I agree. Just like people that get
Yeah,
stamps sell their stamps for money. Like
yeah, yeah. So,
I don't
what
think
I'm
you're
saying,
understanding what I'm saying. You just trying to disagree with what I'm saying.
no,
I
I'm
agree with
just,
what you're saying. I'm just telling you why they ban $170 Jordans. Just like people that get stamps, you're supposed to use those stamps to buy food for your family. But what do? They turn around and sell half of them for cash. bad decisions. That's all. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying they can or can't afford nothing. I'm just telling you how they can afford those $170 Jordans because they're
So
mismanaging their benefits.
so I agree with that. Not that they're mismanaging their benefits. They're planning on effing up the money.
Okay.
That's when I'm so that goes back. Are we lazy?
Yes.
Thank you. That's
Yes.
all I want from you.
I'm not saying we're not lazy, but yeah, yeah.
You would think, watch this. If right now I said, Mike, hey bro, for the next 2 years, your rent is $38. You gonna come
Mm.
up. You're
Major.
and I won't buy a stitch of clothes. If I can
Never.
reduce my living income for $38 for 2 years,
That goes back to that mentality you was talking about. Because one person will come up off of that blessing, and the next person will buy some Jordans or do something
bro,
stupid with it and stay in that situation.
that's my point. Lazy. Because that same person is buying the Jordans today, eventually it's gonna air out. They eventually gonna be product of the environment, and they're gonna be looking around as why. And it goes back to being lazy because you didn't want to do what you should have did to improve your situation. Nobody wants to take those steps back. I tell people I ain't opposed to it. If I
I do it in a
fall off,
heartbeat.
if I fall off, I'm jumping on all the benefits.
Facts.
Guess what I'm gonna do? I'm on the benefits.
Stack
Entrepreneur,
up. Yep.
stack all the way. Give me Section 8. Give me 2 years.
I dare
Two
you.
years of
Right.
Section
Give
8.
me. I
I
dare you.
dare you. Bro,
Oh
listen.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Listen. I'm on one. I'm gonna disappear. No, I'm cool. Nope, I'm straight. Nope. I don't need nothing. Start me off at zero.
That's a mindset though. You hear people say, "I don't care if I lose it all. I know how to get it back." That's a mindset. And then you got other people that you give it to them, and they'll blow it.
I tell people this, bro. It's a difference between living broke and living ignorant. I live broke.
Facts. Yeah. You can't multiply if you don't live broke.
I live
That's
broke,
what.
bro.
That's why I asked you before. We talking about cash poor? Or we talking about just because I'm cash poor all day. My money working. My money works. If I'm working, my money working.
I live broke. I'm not gonna spend nothing that doesn't have a return and a resource allocated towards. I don't care what it is, bro. If I want something, let me go create something to get that something.
Facts. Yeah.
Period. And I don't care how long it take. I what 20 let me get my dates right. I was 33. 2012. IRS came. Took it all. Bow! Hit me in my mouth. Oh, hit me with a jab.
I think the IRS hit us the same year. I ain't lying, cause yeah, I
Bro,
went back company. That's when that was the last year owner operating. I went back company in 2013. So yeah,
bro.
I think we got hit the same year.
They hit me so bad on a payday while I was working.
Man,
And it was so tragic that I was overdrawn a significant amount in my personal accounts and all my individual savings, right?
been there, done that. Yeah.
That my next check or two or three was
Credit.
gonna be. So I'm calling the job. Like, hey, I need a paper check. I need a paper check. Hey, cut this direct. How long it take for direct deposit to stop? Hold
Yeah.
on. I
Right.
can't.
Exactly. Pump
So
the brakes. Yeah.
let me tell you what I learned. I learned about LLCs. I learned how to formulate a business. I learned how to leverage my credit. Right? Sometimes we gotta go through something to figure something else out.
Mm-hmm.
I said, guess what? What could they have not taken? Hmm. Which was
Sometimes
gonna
you got
go
to get
into
smacked to learn how to duck. Yeah.
will kind of go into the other conversation that I said I'm not gonna go into.
Right.
But you go through these things and you find out where you were vulnerable. Right? Never again.
That's a mindset, though.
Guess what
Where
I
did you
learned
get
how
that
to do?
mindset? Where'd you get that mindset from?
From falling on my face, bro. I had nobody teach me that.
Mm.
Let me tell you what the IRS do. They they'll send letters. They'll send letters because I was had the homie Carlton. If I ever see you, you know what you owe me for messing up my taxes. But
Right.
had the homie doing hooking the taxes up for a couple of years. Sign them off as they you.
Mm.
IRS sending information. Not you're not even getting the letters. They had pictures and everything of my house and that. I'm like, wait, y'all
The
seen all
way.
this?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What's going on? Couldn't touch nothing, bro.
Mm.
I'm talking about controlling deeds. Well, couldn't control the deed, but they did have had a lien on
Lane.
property.
Yeah, I'm finna say
Yeah,
Lane. That put. Though I had a
yeah,
$96 lane from
yeah,
state of Indiana. I'm
yeah.
like,
They ain't playing no games. Department of Revenue
oh yeah,
ain't playing no games. But watch
they petty.
this. Watch this. They couldn't have found it now.
You said they couldn't what?
What you gonna put a lien on now?
That's true. Personal assets is I don't own nothing.
I ain't got nothing. I'm
I
broke,
got that. I got this 2006 Ford Taurus out there. You can
bro.
do
That's why I
something
told you I only got two in my name.
with.
Only got two
Right.
cars in my name.
The oldest ones.
You
Yeah.
you can have this little fusion,
Oh yeah.
but going back, I apologize. We going into another conversation. I
That's
just
all
think
right.
that's our issue, bro. Um, I think a lot of us we don't realize that we're in the state that we're really in, and we normalize. I think we normalize, and I keep it a buck, bro. I actually still feel this feeling. I like the anxiety set around trying to create, right? And I remember that same anxiety around trying to shuffle your bills so that I remember I didn't want my phone to get cut off. So I still want to get these J's and this Pelly, but I don't want the phone to get cut off. All right. If I put if I write them a check, right? It take 3 days before it goes. Like
Post
there's
dated.
a
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
there's a you normalize that to justify your
Check the
ignorance.
check.
But
Yeah.
it's once you learn a system for that, that's your thing, right? I think so. I think we normalize the struggle.
Struggle. I'm gonna say struggle and hustle. Yeah.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think that's our problem. And then what I'm saying about lazy is once better opportunity is introduced, everybody want it, but don't nobody want to do it.
I think lazy is you know this hurts. You don't like your current situation, but you'll deal with it just because it's comfortable. You feel like it's too much work to do something better. You hate struggling. You hate being from check to check. You hate borrowing from Peter to pay Paul. You hate going to cash advance, but you're not strong enough to do something about it, or you're not willing to do something about it. You rather put your effort into struggling versus putting your effort into to finding a strategy to get out of. I
Bro,
think that's lazy.
yeah. What's crazy? I'll tell you some stuff. I remember this specifically when I had the G wagon, right? I go hoop, and you know, I guess for a minute, like I'm beyond having vehicles for people to be the object of somebody's conversation, right? So I I remember I came to one of the hoop sessions, and when I leave the hoop sessions, we all come going out together. So I'm playing with some young bulls or whatever, and they see the G wagon. Like, man, OG, what's up? What you doing? What you doing? What you want, man? You gotta put me on, bro. I'm like, oh man, ain't nothing like that. Nah, for real, man. I've been trying to get my stuff together, this, that, and other. I'm talking about 4, 5 different dudes, bro. So, you know me. If you tell me you want some knowledge of something that I got, and you trying to, I got you, and I'm gonna hold you to it. So, I hollered at a couple of them, two or three of them at a time, and we talking about stuff at the gym, this, that, and the other, right? Give them the blueprint. Listen, bro, it's not even about the vehicle. You know what I'm saying? The vehicle you can write off because it's more than 6,200 pounds. And, I told them the whole you dig.
Mhm.
And then, they was working. One dude was working at a group home doing good. Forget what the other dude was doing. Seven was doing something. But anyway, so I had the conversations with him, right? And showed him the plan. But what happens is they don't want to take them steps back. They don't want to go from, I got a 3 bedroom. I'm smoking every night, drinking every weekend. I'm at the party. They don't want to stop none of that
Right.
to get to the
To
thing they're
progress.
seeing.
Yeah.
even though they don't understand if having a nice car is your goal. Okay, let that be your goal. Well, in order to get to that goal, you got to take some steps back. They don't even
Gotta
want to take the steps
reshuffle the
back,
deck.
bro.
Yeah, you gotta reshuffle the deck.
They don't want to do that, bro. And I think that's the part. Nobody wants to put the work in, bro. I don't care, bro. Like I told telling my G, I was like, man, listen, there's some commercial property that I want, um, and I want to get it the right way. I don't want to I don't want to leverage much of what I have. I told my wife, I was like, listen, if I need to go reduce my, I have a lot that I own. It's only a couple $100 a month. Hey, I said, if I didn't have y'all,
Man.
look, I got a LA Fitness membership. I lay
Yep.
up at this for probably 6, 7, 8 months.
Yep.
Minimize my
And
expenses.
grind
I'm
it
gonna
out.
eat.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grind it out. I don't care about none of this. Now I own that whole unit later.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So I I can understand the comfort, right? But if you understand that you're really not comfortable, you're just used to the state that you're in.
Yeah,
You don't
you're
want to do
not
the work.
comfortable. You just found comfort in the
Yeah.
situation that you're in. Yep.
And truth be told, bro, literally, if I did not have these kids,
Don't you ain't gotta tell me twice. You ain't gotta finish your sentence. I already know what you're on. Yeah.
bro,
We'd be
look,
living out of a box, sitting here trying to multiply something bigger.
bro, literally, literally,
Literally, yeah.
and look,
And
just
wouldn't
for a
think
little
twice
bit.
about it.
Wait, just for a little bit, because I know what I'm about to do. Right? I ain't got to leverage nothing else. I just got to
Right.
cut this,
Mhm.
X amount of $1,000 off a month for a couple,
Right.
let's 8
Reallocate this
months,
over here to that.
10 years,
Yeah.
and I can get this
Hmm.
free and clear at this was, yeah, bro. Come
Easy.
on, man. Come on. But it's a slow grind, bro. Um, I just
So what do we think the let's get to the solution. What do we think the solution is
I
to our
think it's tough.
mentality?
I think it's tough. Like, bro, if you have close relationships with individuals that are younger than you, um, and you have enough influence on them, you have to try to impart some of your basic functions just so that their foundation isn't what it is. Check the check. If understanding the leveraging credit, understanding, credit mix, understanding how to leverage your credit, you have to have an LLC. Your LLC is the first thing that
That's
you
your
can
protection. Yeah.
have to protect any thought that you have and utilize that credit and make your mistakes with that. Start building there.
Because you can always
Um,
get another LLC. You can't get another you.
oh, I have several LLCs.
I'm
Yes,
talking to the
yes,
I'm talking to
yeah,
the
talking to you. Yes,
yeah.
yes. Um, just understanding those basic principles. Um, and I think I said this in the prior video, bro. Like, I don't want to teach my kids to be employees, not first, right? I want them to have the option to. But if I teach you the foundation is learning how understanding credit, understanding how leverage, understanding capitalistic ways, right? There's always opportunity. Those
Hmm.
basic fundamentals they apply to everything that is bought and sold, any form of commerce. If you have those principles first and you understand credit and you value finance, everything else becomes easy. You
I
have
think
an option.
I think our principles are the same, but we approach it differently. So with my kids, I encourage them to go into careers that are in demand and that you can finesse or leverage or pivot into ownership. That's why Lee has a CDL. So he has the option to go into not only real estate, which is what he's working on, but he can also learn the game, leverage, get his own trucks, things of that nature. He could take his career and leverage that. Uh, Angel, she business and what is it? Business and marketing
Hmm.
that can be leveraged into ownership. Michaela, she's in nursing school. That can be leveraged into ownership. My youngest, Mikey, he's going into construction. Learn the trade. That can be leveraged in a consultant. You know what I'm saying? To ownership. So you're teaching them to just go, learn the entrepreneurial avenue first, and then if you have to, whatever. But learn this first. My approach is learn the skill, learn the ins and out. I came, I saw, I conquered, and then pivot. Don't stay a worker. Don't ever stay a worker. Learn the craft and pivot. So we're saying the same thing. It's just our approaches is different. I'm not saying
Yeah,
your or my approach is right or wrong, but I understand what you're saying for sure.
yeah. I don't think there's a right or wrong approach. To add to my approach, just to make sure I'm clarifying, um, the reason why I'm so adamant about not getting a job, not getting a job, not getting a job, is because you
They
can
get comfortable.
always get a job.
Facts. Well, no.
Hear
Let
me out.
these
Hear me out.
unemployment statistics. Go ahead.
Yeah, you can always get a job. But if I teach you how to find opportunity, how to leverage your credit worthiness, meaning
Mm-hmm.
your word, even if you get a job, that job won't own you. That job won't control you. I am the hardest person to employ because if I go to a job, it's not to pay my bills. It's a part of something else. You see
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? It
Yeah.
means that exchange for that 40 hours makes sense for what I needed to make sense for right now.
Mm.
If they tell me I gotta work, do this, do that, anything I don't want to do, I don't have to do it.
Right.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I think the solution, I think those are some viable solutions. But I do think I don't think it's any saving our community. I think our community can't just be tied to color, can't just be tied to ethnicity, bro. You got to start within your house. You know what I mean?
Facts. That's where
You got
everything starts. You're right.
yeah, because I mean, obviously, right now, even with Mikey, you got a community that's about to, it's switching demographics. You know what I'm saying? This is about to be blended. So, um, eventually, I'm wishing that on them right
No,
now.
that's Lee. That's Lee. Not
Oh,
Mikey.
Lee. Oh, not
Yeah,
Mikey.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
Lee. Yeah.
Mm. Not
So
saying he
when
won't too, but yeah, that's
I'm not saying this like that. Sprinkle, sprinkle,
hey.
sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle.
I know, right?
but yeah, what I'm saying is, yeah, I don't think it's any saving the community, bro. The more and more you talk, the more people are more set in their ways, and I think with the advent of even what we do on podcasts and the social media and followers, is making people think
Right.
that there's security where there's none.
I think we should do more content on credit mixing. We need to use your expertise. I have some expertise, but I will yield to your expertise on this matter as far as credit worthiness and leverage and what I'm saying, things of that nature, because you have 12 years or 17 years, almost 20 years of being a serial entrepreneur. So I think we should do more
Let's talk about
content.
that. Let's talk about that. Let's let that be our next
No,
topic.
we're at an hour, so yeah, that could be the next topic or the next show. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think we need to do more content on that. Since you said it starts at home, and a lot of homes aren't homes. They're single parent homes, whether it be male or female. And when you
No
only have one
excuses.
parent, I
No
know, I know.
excuses.
Hold on, I didn't say it was a legitimate excuse. I'm telling you, but
Whew.
because of the situation that we're in, this type of content is necessary. I'm not giving passes to nobody. I'm just calling out a thing.
Thank you.
It's
Accountability.
it's, it's hard to be a present parent when you're doing it by yourself.
Yeah.
Because a family is supposed to be two parents and kids, not one parent. So if you got one parent doing two jobs, that's it's probably gonna
Mike,
fail.
Mike, no, we're not finna do that. We're not even finna open that. They can't. Reason being is this, bro. We're not asking anybody to do anything definitive. We're saying recognize that you can do more than what you're doing. That's what you can do better in your situation.
Right. I'm not disagreeing. I
And
think
that's
you
a one.
get
It's a
triggered. I
one.
think you get triggered anytime you think there's no accountability held. I'm
Yeah, bro.
saying
I
since
get
they're
triggered.
dropping the ball, we're gonna pick it up and make content. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a one arm hooper busting ass right now.
I know you're talking about. He's overseas
So
right now. I know you're talking
yeah,
about. Yeah.
yeah. So ain't no excuses, bro.
No,
Let my
no,
son
no
say,
excuses given.
but I can't shoot.
No excuses given. I'm just calling a thing a thing. Since the community is failing, we got to step
Bro,
in.
we got to be careful. So let me do this, bro. Let me say this, even with our podcast, bro.
Mhm.
Let's understand our community, bro. Sometimes even talking about something is legitimizing something or justifying an out for some people. Let's just be accountable. Let's just say we can do better. You know who you are. We know what the circumstances is. We know it's hard out there. But we talking about what you can do. I don't care what your situation is. You can do better than what you're doing right now.
That's calling a thing, and I don't have a problem with that. But while they sit here and ponder on what they could do better, we're gonna drop seeds of knowledge.
Deuces.
That's all I'm saying. All right, y'all. We about to head up out of here. Any last words? Any last words?
Like, comment, subscribe. If you think we on BS, or we ain't talking about nothing legit, say something.
Please.
Oh, I mean, we over 100, right, Mike?
Yeah, I think 101. We
Come on,
we
bro.
hit our first.
Come
We hit
on,
our
bro.
first threshold.
No
Yes,
bots.
sir.
No bots.
No bots. No
Oh, come on,
body.
man.
Yeah. No bots, no
Yeah.
body mans. None of that. Yeah.
Unless y'all want to sell us. I mean, I'm just nothing price of that. Pause. But yeah, bro, listen, we are extremely proud of our 100 plus subscribers. I think Mike is about to get the total number.
Yeah,
We appreciate
101,
that.
101.
Yeah, y'all don't know us. Y'all haven't grown up with us. But just the fact that there are 100 people that have enough value in what we're saying, how we're presenting it, or if y'all just was lazy and just tapped the button for everything, okay, so what? We'll take it anyway. That's really appreciated, bro. I told Mike from day one, I don't want to do this. I never want to do this. I was happy enough having these conversations with my cousins. You know what I'm saying? But I'm thankful that there's extended family out there that it truly means a lot, because a lot of the reasons why I stayed in myself is because I don't, sometimes you feel like people don't want to listen. You feel like, you're just talking to the wall. You know what I mean? But I know y'all 100 people, y'all not a wall. And I appreciate those heartbeats that are behind those clicks. And I want y'all to keep subscribing. I would love more engagement, meaning let me know how y'all feel, because sometimes we just be talking. Sometimes we might need a different perspective if we coming off the
Right.
wrong way, I'll love to address and try to find ways to better myself. And man, I'm always good for linear conversation. That means I don't always have to be the one pushing the point. I can be taking in some too. Pause.
That was yeah.
Hey, I mean, I can push the
Huge
point.
pause.
Yeah.
All right, but y'all make sure y'all click that like button, especially if you're entertained. If you're not,
Are you
drop
entertained?
a comment. Yeah, drop a comment. We here for it.
Let's
we
get
here
it.
to grow. We here to learn from y'all.
Hey,
All right, you guys.
if you messed up, start with your kids.
Yeah,
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
that's where it starts. You're right.
Pass it on, bro.
All right, y'all. We about to head up out of here. We got work to do. We appreciate you guys joining, and we out of here. Deuces.
Yeah.